he had said that he was on the phone with the ops back in Arizona.
She's a dangerous woman. I've already said if I get killed for this book I'm writing, which is a strong possibility, I want her investigating it. I want like her and Zeb Boykin and Ian Carroll.
So on 10/27, bam.
If you would react in the way that he did, I want you to leave a comment and explain yourself.
Okay, so here's the problem with that in and of itself. That statement is ridiculous because that camera was facing the back.
Guilty. Guilty. What are we talking about today?
Well, let's see.
What's still important?
Let's see, what are we talking about today?
Anything important happened in the world in the last couple of months, or?
I don't know, I mean, it depends on who you ask, I guess. People like to just ignore things and brush them under the rug like they don't exist. But anyway, we are not in the business of that.
No.
So, we're still on this Charlie Kirk thing. Oh, why are you still
I'll call it the
Charlie
government
Kirk thing?
lies thing.
Yeah.
Which
is a never-ending topic, so we'll never run out of things
But
to
this
speak
is
about.
a big one.
Yes.
This is a big lie. Well, a bunch of lies.
A lot.
The only other person, there's a handful, but the main person who's trying to keep the story alive and get to the bottom of it is Candace Owens.
Yes, God bless her. And Candace, if you ever see this, we are praying for you. We are thankful for you. Keep doing what you're doing. And we got
She's
you
good
back.
at ignoring what the haters say.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
So it doesn't matter.
Just stay safe. We got you
She's
back.
a dangerous woman.
Yeah.
I've already said if I get killed for this book I'm writing, which is a strong possibility, I want her investigating it. I want her and Zeb Boykin and Ian Carroll
Absolutely
investigating my death.
Shout out to Ian Carroll too for all the work you're doing.
And if it's a real offensive way they do it, I want Anna Kasparian to talk about it.
Yes. All
the first
all
populist or
people.
liberal I ever had, on my side. So.
Mm-hmm.
But what? So we're gonna cover what she talked about.
Yeah. So specifically today, Candace took a 2-week break or so. I think it was 2 weeks for vacation. So she came back and she'd been telling us that when she came back she had some real heat to drop. So we've been waiting for it. So on 10/27, bam, she dropped it, and boy was it wow. So,
but we're gonna go through it because some people are saying that she dropped nothing, that there was not a lot there. But they have to remember when she said she's gonna drop something, it's kind of like an album, and this is the first song. This is the intro.
Yeah, exactly.
She said more on such and such tomorrow.
Yeah, here's
something
the teaser.
Important.
All right, here's the single. Here's the album.
Right. She's giving the liars a chance to out themselves.
Yeah, and I mean, and she's also giving the people that may be, part of this organization or group of people that she's speaking about that are actually good people and want to speak. Maybe she's giving them a chance to come forward and talk, even if it's in private. So,
well, you went through, made notes about what she was talking about.
Yeah, so we're going to go kind of just, a little bit point by point of these things that she spoke about. And it's not everything, but the most important things. So I wrote it down while watching.
All right.
So the first thing was the Rob McCoy thing, okay? She addressed that right off the bat. And everyone knows by now who Rob McCoy is. Charlie's pastor.
His spiritual advisor,
or whatever.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah, so
I think it's his pastor, too. But.
He had made a speech about what happened, and telling the story of supposedly how his son was, involved or whatever. And his story was vastly different than
what could have been possible.
Yeah. So
he said he was covered in blood.
Yeah, I mean, he said that he got on the phone immediately and, said, please call your pastor and pray, and that he had blood all over him and, this and that.
He said he's been shot in the neck.
Yeah.
Whereas he didn't even see where he was shot.
Yeah.
Because now we can see from many different angles where Mikey McCoy was.
Yeah.
And for people that don't know, he was Charlie's chief of staff.
Yes.
And he's been with him since he was in his late teens.
Yeah. So.
And he's in his early 20s, I believe.
And the video of him, and I know many of you have seen different angles of this and whatnot, but they really slowed it down and circled in to show you this in her video. So Mikey McCoy, when he was present, he was standing over here.
Yeah, to Charlie's back left.
Yes, okay.
Just behind the tent.
And if you watch the video, he has a phone up to his ear. pretty much the whole time that he's standing there.
Mm-hmm.
And when Charlie gets shot, you see Charlie, shot and then fall off the chair. And Mikey just, doesn't run. He, walks behind this tent.
Well, yeah, there's more to that, though. It's weird. He makes the call, 3 minutes before. So at least we have video from 3 minutes before. So he's on the phone. You see him dial or whatever. And then within, I don't know, a minute of Charlie getting shot, 30 seconds, something like that, he puts the phone down like it's hung up.
Yeah, for a second.
And then Charlie gets shot. He puts it to his ear like he's talking.
Yeah.
So, either he just, left the conversation alone for a minute and then just went right back to it, or something. I don't know, but it's very strange that the phone's down. He's got it right to his ear.
It feels
within 0.82 seconds of Charlie being shot, that phone's at his ear. They've timed it.
This is supposedly when he made the call to his dad.
Right, but he didn't hit dial. He didn't dial any numbers.
Yeah, so it's either, to me, it looks like either he was, he was on his phone this whole time, and then he said, okay, hang on just a second. And
I'm gonna listen to Charlie say something he said 500,000 times.
Yeah, and held the phone down. I'll be right back. And then Charlie gets shot, and then it's like, oh my God!
Oh, hey man,
shot. Hey.
But it's not like he said, hey, I got to go and call my dad.
No,
because he walks away and just keeps it to his ear the whole time.
Yeah.
So that would mean he's on the phone with his dad, and supposedly had blood all over him, but he's 10 yards away to the back lot. There was no blood on him at all.
Where there could have been anything like that. So
and also, supposedly there's proof that he was on the phone immediately with Erika Kirk, so that would mean he had to be talking to her. But either way, it's just weird because there's a gunshot in your general direction.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe he saw Charlie get hit because it was 0.82 seconds before the phone went to his ear and he immediately turned around. So he doesn't run. He doesn't duck. He doesn't hide behind a tree.
You see other people kind of running and, getting...
At least getting down.
Getting out of there, at least moving fast. He is just walking at a normal pace around the back
and
of
they say, people react differently. If you would react in the way that he did, I want you to leave a comment and explain yourself, because I'm very, very calm when I'm in danger. But I would not simply just turn and slowly walk away and just keep walking in a straight line, not looking over my shoulder. It's very strange.
Well, and that's the thing, too, that Candace brought up, and it's a very good point. So you would go into a fight or flight mode immediately. Someone is shooting in your direction. You have no idea if there's more than one gunman, if you're being pursued, if they're, going to be coming and shooting more, or what is going on. So you either go into fight mode, where you run towards Charlie to try and help him, or you run away to get away from possible danger, see what's going on, and you're just going.
You don't just stay in a straight line. You do the run, Ricky, run,
And
you
these
zigzag,
are physiological, psychological things that, are proven that this is what the body and mind do.
I guess I'll cap off what I'm trying to say with, this is an important point she brought up. I know people had seen the footage before she came back, but she always has to go over the stuff, because there's been times where she had to say, no, guys, so she went over it, yes, with her opinion, but also with inside knowledge about certain people. And the thing I'll say is this: that kid's not military, that kid didn't have a weapon, that kid isn't a gangster, so he's never experienced anything, and he's not trained in security, so he's never been in a situation like this in his entire life. So there would definitely be some sort of fear there.
Absolutely.
Unless he knew
what was going on,
right,
and the insides, and
part
of it. So.
Candace will say that's not necessarily what she's trying to say, but that's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah,
I don't see any universe where that wouldn't be the truth, unless this kid is reptilian, unless he's an absolute psychopath. You don't just continue on with your little stroll through the frickin' park when a bullet just flew within, I don't know, man, 15 feet of you, and you don't know how many more are coming.
Yeah.
Yes, Charlie got hit, but who's to say the guy isn't going to tap?
And you have no idea if Charlie was dead or not.
Or if he's even a target.
Or if,
he's the famous one, but...
Could have been a mass shooting, and everybody was just getting... you don't know.
But, I'm just going to go. And then he walks, way past the vehicle that Charlie's in. Yes, he went to a car, why did he have a car waiting way over on the other side of the parking lot when the vehicle he came in was there?
Yeah.
He filmed in it. Like, he filmed them pulling up.
Yeah, it's just all very...
There's a lot of weird shit. And that's what we keep pointing out, is that there's a lot of weirdness in this whole thing. And it's kind of like the mistakes with Trump's assassination attempt, Butler.
Yeah, like the big, like, what the heck, you know?
A million screw-ups means something's intentional. You can't screw up this many times as a group that cares about a person, who travels with him. Like, not just screw-ups, but strange reactions too. But, I don't know, my verdict is that this was important for her to talk about. It was important for her to give a little information on who the guy is.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to add, because Rob was the start of this point, that guy's an evil dude.
I
can say it.
Not right with
I'm not going to do, I don't know. No, I'm very good at judging people, especially, when I watch them talk and address crowds and stuff like that. I can tell if they're like,
with like biblical stuff too.
Yeah, he feels like a charlatan, like he's quick to anger. And I'm not just talking about when he spoke right after. You can go find stuff of him as a pastor. You can see interviews with him. He just seems like somewhat of an angry guy. He's unbiblical because he is a dispensational. He's a Zionist. He's a Christian Zionist.
Yeah.
So he's essentially on the side that Charlie was rejecting.
Yeah.
Speaking against. Mm-hmm. He's on that side. So you have the guy that you're the mentor of. Charlie being the mentee, who is rejecting your spiritual advice, the business part of everything. You're rejecting it all. And this guy is just like, oh yeah, you wanted me in charge, basically. I mean, that's pretty much how he's acting.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Like, and when people questioned others who were there, he was quick to anger. How dare you? That sort of thing about like Frank Turek and stuff. But dude, people who cared about Charlie, who had actually, been friends with him and stuff, are pointing out, like, why is this person throwing up hand signs? Why is this person not reacting? Why does this person walk away calmly? They're trying to figure out what happened because we know the FBI is inept. And what's funny about that is they want to stick to that narrative, but Charlie would have been the first one to say that the FBI is inept.
Yeah, and question everything.
He did it with Trump.
Find out the truth, exactly.
So... I'm just gonna say that there's something funny there, like father, like son. One guy's pushing an unbiblical narrative and gets paid a lot of money to do it. The son doesn't react. I mean, unless his dad used to, I don't know, shoot around him when he was a kid just to get him used to bullets whizzing by him and react calmly.
No.
But even if that was the case, he wouldn't react and walk in a straight line.
But anyway, I mean,
I decided I'm gonna go off about some of this stuff because other people feel it's improper to do it. I have no vested. I don't care.
At this point,
it's not going to hurt me.
It doesn't matter, yeah.
I'll get, we'll get 55 views instead of 70. Like, I don't care.
Oh, boy.
That's the one freedom of not having a big following. You can say whatever the hell you want.
Yeah, for the most part. Unless YouTube doesn't like you, but...
So, guilty.
Yeah, anyway. So then the next thing she touched on that I felt like was important was, she's talked about this in past videos recently. Where she had, the guy who took the camera down immediately, the Turning Point guy, who took the camera down immediately, and she, reached out to him, not thinking whatsoever that TPUSA was...
I want to add another real calm, cool dude, but go on.
Yeah. She reached out to him about, that footage, wanting to see it, this and that, and he showed it to her via FaceTime, where, she watched it, and she tells us about that. She's told us about it before. But then, this guy got really weird when she started asking questions. One of the things that he had said to her was that, as far as the footage goes, he had only spoken to Erika and the feds about the footage when the cameras were taken down. Like, that, it was going to go to the feds, and that he wanted to take this down so that Erika didn't have to keep reliving, the horror of when her husband was killed, and didn't want that, footage out there. Okay, so here's the problem with that in and of itself. That statement is ridiculous because that camera was facing the back. That was behind Charlie.
It was the only censored shot of him getting shot.
Candace has seen it.
You know what I mean?
And she explained, that you don't see anything. Like, you don't see anything like that, you know, nothing in comparison to what the whole world has seen already.
Yeah, what she's going to see a million times if she goes on the internet.
That protecting Erika thing is a cop-out and it's BS.
Once people saw that, too, that was like the one piece of video that they probably wouldn't overanalyze because it doesn't show anything.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But we think it shows something.
Well,
as far as the angle goes, but that's a different video.
Then the guy started talking about how he needed to speak to Turning Point lawyers, you know, before showing anyone this footage or sending this footage, because she asked if he could, like, send it to her. And he kind of, you know, all of a sudden got weird. And this is where she really... I
love what he said.
This is where she really knew that, like, he, like, was a total liar. You know, he goes, well, I don't know how to send footage. He didn't know how to send the footage. He
runs a media company.
He didn't know how to send the file. He has done this for how long? I don't know how long.
I don't remember how many years.
That's what he does. That is part of what he does. He runs
a media company.
Yeah, he knows how to send
a multimedia company.
I mean, my God, my 11-year-old
an audiovisual company.
So, I mean, that was ridiculous. And then...
Okay, so maybe he's trying to get away from sending it to her just because he doesn't want to. He doesn't know how to say no.
He didn't want to send it, like, via Google or this or that because he was, quote-unquote, worried that Google might hack him.
Because that's who hacks you, for sure.
Worried that he might be hacked. That is what he said.
It's so stupid, I can't even say it.
I mean, I literally wrote... WTF in my notes after that because I was just sitting there watching like what the weird things that were said after that too was, you know, they got to talking about certain stuff and she had asked, you know, what I think she asked who he was on the phone with or something. I can't remember what it was, but it was something about a phone call. And he had said that he was on the phone with the ops back in Arizona that we're watching.
Now, he meant operations, not opposition.
Like opposition, yeah.
Right. I took that wrong when I first heard it.
I did too at first, yeah.
Like, who's the ops,
but
bro?
He said,
who are you with?
On the phone with the ops back in Arizona that we're watching, and that there were 2 new ops watching that Charlie wanted people to, and this is, okay, Charlie had never done this. They had never done this at all, ever once before. They were already live streaming, but apparently that wasn't good enough, you know, so supposedly Charlie wanted people to be able to live cut clips, like, immediately to get them out faster.
Yeah, so you had people sitting there, it's live streamed, and they're able to grab the clip, chop it, put that places as they go.
Yeah.
Cool idea, but this was something that wasn't announced. We're going to do something special.
They've never done it before.
This was also definitely... They had only known that he only knew he was going to be at this place 24 hours in advance.
Right.
There was no additional personnel there. Like you said, they'd never done this before. But there was something else that was in that same little part that bothered me, was that the story of Turning Point, I want to say this guy's story, but I have to go back and look, but I know it was the story of Turning Point. They claimed that the reason why he couldn't turn over that footage is because the police had forced him to give it over to them. That was Turning Point's story.
Oh, yeah.
Remember that they came over to him and told him, like, don't give anybody any footage, and they took it.
Right.
Assuming you'd still have a backup, but still that they took it, and they came over and gave him a stern talking to, basically.
Yeah.
Well, the problem is that she saw all the footage.
Yeah.
He let her see all of it, and he screwed up with that because it showed from 10 minutes before, I believe, all the way through to when he makes his weird little video announcing that Charlie was dead, way before he said.
Yeah, we'll get to that in a second.
And there were never any cops to talk to him.
No
FBI, nobody approached him about anything. He was just there doing his thing. And she also, I want to add, for those that didn't know when they watched her thing, or saw clips of it, she knows this guy.
Yeah.
She's done events with this guy.
She's known all these people,
she knows how he acts.
A long time.
She knows their process, all that kind of stuff. So I had kind of stood up for this possibility before, that maybe it was like, okay, I'm getting this footage so that some idiot doesn't come over and steal it and stuff like that.
I thought, I tried to give the benefit of the doubt with that type of thinking as well in the beginning. But,
right.
Yeah.
But you're going to lie about what happened to the footage. And it was even with having the original, a backup. You're going to give the SD card or whatever. You're supposedly live streaming it to another place.
Yeah.
And they're like recording it as it comes.
Yeah.
So you're not losing the footage when you give it over to the police.
No.
So your cover story doesn't even let you off the hook that, I don't have it.
No. Yeah,
he had already said he had it.
Because the ops in Arizona clearly would have had it, right?
So the point is he had it. They had a backup. The police never talked to him. The FBI never talked to him. That was all BS. I don't know what else to say.
Yeah. I mean, and this is.
Oh, and they're always doing something new that day. Everything's new. Yeah, the police, the prosecutor, the medical examiner, the FBI agents. Now the process of recording in the files and everything.
Suddenly that's new.
Yeah.
Just on this particular day.
The security's different. Like, everything is new. Everything's brand new. So, yeah, I just wanted to say that.
And then the same person, okay, of him, okay, he
was the guy that we saw in the other videos who went through the tunnel and walked up onto the hill, and people were like, what the hell is he doing? And it looked like he was filming everything.
Yeah.
And he was for a minute.
He was filming himself. So he's standing up there, it looks like he's on the little grassy knoll over there.
Live shooter.
Filming. And no one knows what's going on, supposedly. No one knows anything about if Charlie is dead, alive, nothing. And he goes on there and he calmly and just, it looks like he's almost like tired.
Another psychopath.
Where he's almost
wasn't feeling nothing.
Just, nonchalant as hell. And he's saying that, selfie video, they just shot Charlie. And then he's just standing there like, that they just shot Charlie.
The wording of the day.
Making sure that he had that, filming himself. And then he goes, he's dead. He's dead.
It was hours before anybody announced he was dead.
He was not confirmed dead. And at that point in time, nobody would have known that he was dead. Now, that guy definitely wouldn't have known he was dead because he wasn't there holding anything on his wound or
and at that point, he should have been trying to assist people, or at least worried about his own safety.
He should have been anything but what he was doing. Anything almost. Anything but what he was doing.
It's odd.
It is so odd, and it is so cringy. I hate that word, but it is. And when you watch it, I watched it and I just was like,
I've made clickbaity shit. He wanted to be the first guy to announce something, and he was kind of acting a little bit. Now, certain things you can't act your way around.
Yeah.
Absolute fear, terror, worry, things like that. You can't just go into psychopath mode with no emotions or anything like that.
You can't act out shock either. So everyone who claims that, he was in shock, is that, okay, no. No, I can tell. It's
too composed.
It's very simple to look at him and be like, that guy's not in shock. He's just... It's no different than me hanging out, just like, so I just watched this video and this happened. And
meanwhile, people are still running everywhere. It's like melee, and they're trying to put your boy in a truck to get him to the hospital. He's bleeding to death, and you're just like, so Charlie's been shot, and it's almost like he's gonna take another take. He pulls the phone away and he thinks for a second and brings it back.
Wouldn't surprise me if he did.
Really odd. Another guy who has absolutely no physiological response to an active shooter, and the fact that he might still be in danger, and the fact that everyone else around him is worried and screaming and yelling and running, and his boy's bleeding to death over there, but he's just nice and calm conducting a conversation with random public. Okay, all right. You want to be the guy to give the news, I guess. You don't want to be behind the camera anymore. You want to be on it. Okay? So, whatever. And like I said, Candace knows this guy, and he wasn't acting as himself.
So. No, not at all. And, it's
a lot of weird stuff.
It's awful to see. So after watching that, and taking a breather, I was like, okay, holy crap. Then she kind of goes into, where she did that little...
Oh, it's hilarious.
The little trailer.
It's a trailer like she was doing a show for HBO Max, which she almost said in a way that she's actually...
I know, it felt like she was going to do it, but...
it was called, instead of Curb Your Enthusiasm, it played the music and it was Curb Your Zionism.
Yes.
Which is friggin' hilarious.
And
it had, Anna Kasparian.
It had a bunch of clips of, videos of, her, and then, just videos of Charlie, being discussed that Charlie was not, being cool with his Jewish donors and, you know, what he'd been saying and what he'd been dealing with. And it was all these different people, you know, so it's a bunch of clips.
It went over his quotes and his personal texts with some of these people who were there that day and who were a part of the event, even from afar. So, yeah.
Yeah. So,
part of the organization, I'll call it.
Yeah. And, you know, then she addressed some of the Josh Hammer BS, and, like, I didn't even write any notes for
She's
that.
right. That guy's like a Bond villain, dude.
That guy, yes.
He's like a Bond villain, but he's the one where you find him in, like, an office and smack the hell out of him, and he doesn't fight back. Like, that's what I picture that guy being.
He's something.
But he is, like, yeah, it's funny. She said that, like, Charlie, he would have said Charlie's last words were, "Buy my book."
Yeah.
You know, if he was there in person. But, yeah, that guy is, everything that he said, that's what she was referencing. Everything that he said has been proven to be a lie. Oh, no, he was still on board with us. Really, Josh? You were in this group text where he says the absolute complete opposite, less than 24 hours from when he was killed. But yeah, sure. Okay, he's still on board. And then several other things he said.
Yeah.
And the fact of the matter is, you know, we're not going to talk too much about the Google search spikes from Israel and Washington, D.C. following the Dave Smith debate that Charlie hosted. But he hosted and Dave Smith roasted. Like Josh Hammer was made a fool of. So
he makes a fool of himself.
And I can make a fool of his book. His Zionist view on things, where he needs to stop trying to use what he considers to be fact and just give opinion. Give your feelings, bro. Don't reference things if you don't want historians and wannabe historians like myself to reference things in return.
Yeah.
That's why Dave Smith annihilated you. And I'll remind you what you said about him. He's a comedian. He's not a historian. He's not an author of historical or anthropology or anything.
No.
So yeah, Josh Hammer, he's a clown. I'm not gonna spend any more time.
Yeah.
My bad. I just can't stand that dude.
Well, she went into, you know, some personal texts that she pulled up and showed between her and Charlie, and these really got to me.
Oh yeah.
And so they're from April 6th, 2018. Okay, April 6th, 2018 were these texts, and I have the words right here of most of them.
Yes, we're talking 7.5 years almost.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So this is Charlie, and he says, "I might be Moses, though. I might not see this whole thing through. If that's the case, be my David. If I tell you the true prophecy I know in my gut, it's really sad, but I hope it's wrong. Anyway, I am not sure if I will live to see the end of this revolution. I believe you were the piece God meant me to meet that will finish the fight. Since the beginning of TPUSA, I knew in my gut that I might get wiped out at any time. I cannot explain it, but I dream about it all the time. Like, all the time. Anyway, that's depressing combo for another time, LMAO." And Candace says, "That is so weird. More like a fear manifestation than an actualization." To which he says, "Not really afraid of it, but I'm just telling you what I know to be true."
And something to add on there. People are clowning the fact that she shared texts from 7 years ago as if they're valid now. You have to remember, especially you guys who are doing this, like, oh yeah, we're going to bury this story. Ooh, yeah. The problem with that is being able to bury the story based on them being old texts. You have to go back to Candace's earlier videos that I know y'all watched 100 times. She stated, I think it might even been the last video before this, she had proof from Charlie that he predicted his death and that he'd be betrayed, I believe she said, by them immediately before his death.
Yeah.
So she's showing you foreshadowing, and I don't think it's just like, well, she said she's setting a bait, and Ian backed her up on that.
Yeah.
But she's also showing that she believes that Charlie really prophesied this. Like, I think that she believes he saw this in 2018, they had this conversation in 2020, this one in 2022, and then right up before he died. So as soon as we get home, she'll probably have another video up that goes even further into this. What she's doing is a tactic that I'm doing as I author my book. I'm giving a little bit. I'm not going too in depth. I'm giving enough because I know I'll be attacked when this is, and they'll take it apart. Then they'll go into saying something that's wrong. They'll say something stupid like, Well, it's only a couple hundred years anyway. No, it's not a couple. Now we're getting into a few. We're bordering on several. So in other words, I'm talking too much, but what I'm saying is that she's given them just enough to get them to say something stupid.
Yeah, to go and try to defend themselves, to be like, oh, well wait, no, that's not. And in doing so, they will, end up saying something they didn't mean to say and incriminate themselves.
Yeah, so you said it a lot easier. But I just want to give an example. I urge everybody to go watch the movie Menace to Society and watch when Kane gets interrogated.
Yeah, famous.
No, you done fucked up.
Yeah.
There's shorts. Go look up the shorts. And what she's doing, everybody thinks she's creating just evidence and all these kinds of things and putting it together. That's not what she's doing. She's conducting this as though it's an interrogation. She's giving her information. She's waiting for you to say something back.
Mm-hmm.
She did that with Josh Hammer. She did it with a few others. Like when she put the text out, Andrew had to respond.
Yep.
And she keeps doing that. And she's waiting every time for them to say something stupid. Because if they don't say their side, you're not going to believe her side.
Yeah.
She's going to say this thing. You're going to find a way, like I said a minute ago, to take it out of context. You're going to say it's a joke. She's crazy. Because that's all I see from the people with the Israel flags on X and shit. No, she's going to give you just enough so that you respond. You say something stupid, but you claim it's factual. So you can put those, the public can put those two things next to each other and go, oh, wow, wait a minute. That's what the guy said back?
It's not like the other.
Right. So I think it's actually kind of genius. And the reason I say she's ferocious and she's actually scary is because it feels like she does this on instinct.
Yeah.
She's not sitting around thinking about how am I going to defeat them.
No, and
she does it naturally.
This is coming to her in a natural way too, from a place
of
where, this is her friend.
Mm-hmm.
This was not just somebody that she met a few times. This is her friend, a very, very close friend. That they went through all kinds of things together for years. Experiences together, going touring and doing all these campuses and such for years.
They developed their worldview together.
Yeah, and
they came of age together.
Their worldviews changed, together, as where his went one way, where hers went a different way,
and then his went back.
And
to
then
hers.
His started going more towards hers,
yeah.
And it just. This is someone
that's
a
real
her friend.
bond.
She loves this person, and I feel like it's just instinctually like, okay, this is, you want me to be your David, right? I'm being your David, and I'm going to finish this fight.
Well, see, there's another example. Early on in these videos, maybe the first one, she talked about, like, I talk to Charlie all the time. I'm still somewhat close to people at Turning Point. I've worked with them recently on things. And people, some of the people that are trying to laugh at her now, or they're paid for Hasbara, or whatever the case may be, were like, they were even on her side with that. Like, oh, yeah, she was friends with him and stuff like that. So what they had to do is throw Eric Bowling out there and have him go on PBD. Stupid. Went on second biggest podcast in the world, something like that. And he fucked up.
Yeah, he did.
Oh, no, she hasn't worked with Turning Point or anything since 2016?
Or something, yeah, I think he said something like that.
Yeah, she had less than a year previous to this.
Exactly.
She had done a handful of appearances, which over the course of a year is kind of a lot.
Yeah.
That's like, somebody's touring with you. Well, she was. She did, yeah. Major events, like big ones.
Yeah.
And he said, I'm on the board of directors. He's not. Maybe he is today, so they can make it look legit.
That was almost scandal he went through years back.
Oh, God, yeah. But he did they screwed up there. Some of us noticed. Some of us blew it off because we want to be or they want to be on a certain side. Others are still kind of like, well, they did have that one guy lie. Well, maybe it's just he lied. Maybe the organization didn't tell him to say that. But they haven't come out with a correction. You know why? Because if they give a correction, they're going to say another stupid thing.
Yeah.
They'd have to give a whole paragraph and at least a sentence that would screw up, and she'd have proof of something. So immediately after that, she shared recent texts. Obviously, she said, I'll show one flyer or something of one of the events I'm on, but you can still go on their website and see how it's on the event.
Yeah, she spoke at Amfest or whatever it was, I believe.
It's a freaking joke. Like, you send this guy out there, and yes, okay, it's not a horrible decision to send a guy out there to lie when it comes to PR, because there will be a million people that saw PVD's thing that will not watch Candace's return.
Yeah, they'll just be like, oh yeah, that bitch is great,
But if you keep getting them to say stupid things, at some point, every person that cares about this case is going to see something that refutes them, and it's going to make them go back and watch everything of Candace's.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm all in all, I'm really glad that Candace is doing what she's doing. And I'm right there with her. We don't have, a big voice or a big platform or anything as of this point in time. But I think it's very important for anybody who is, doing podcasting at all, whether you have an audience, whether you're Ian Carroll level audience, or whether you're Candace audience, or whether you're just, ground floor people like us, you need to continue to talk about it. You need to continue to make these videos and discuss these things, because people are going to see them, and there needs to be as many as possible out there.
Watch our short about what weapon probably was used.
Yeah, like this cannot die, and we cannot let it. We have to continue to be ferocious about it. And at this point, it's like, you get scared of saying certain things or whatever. Let that fear out the window. I'm not saying don't be cautious about certain things, because sometimes you have to be.
You don't want to lose your channel. You don't want to lose your life.
As far as that, be sensible. Use common sense on that. But
last mosquito of the year.
Don't go overboard. Trying to sugarcoat words and things like that.
And also, I mean, if you have a theory, throw it out there. Tag people who are important in this case on X and stuff. Like, you might not get answered because people like Candace are being inundated with stuff, or people have to sift through it, stuff like that. But the guy who figured out I'm forgetting his name now, Baron Coleman?
I think so.
If I got it wrong, sorry. I know the first name's right. He figured out the Google Trend thing.
Yeah.
Which I'm going to find an easier way to go over, but man, Ian Carroll did a great job covering that. And there's an example. He's a guy that was getting 20,000 views on a video. Not a whole lot in the grand scheme when you compare him to like Ian and Candace and stuff. But it was brought to Ian's attention. He covered it, and then he put it onto a timeline, and that took things another step where you're like, oh my God, this is something to look at. It's irrefutable proof of something. I'm just going to say it like that. So he got the attention. Zed Boykin, to this day, has eyeballs on him because he was the first one to do the bullet trajectory thing and all that, the ballistics. So keep putting stuff out there. Even if it's just a gut feeling, just say that's what it is. Don't push it as though it's irrefutable truth.
Exactly. But
like, for instance, our first video where I was pushing an ideal conceal thing, it's called, the video is called something like Best Conspiracy Theory or something, because at the time
it seemed like it made the most plausible thing.
And we went over every point and counterpoint, and I admitted when a couple of the points didn't line up. That's what you need to do if you're going to go into your theory. Don't just throw it out there, say this happened, I know for a fact. Like truth behind, or like, you know what I mean? Like, don't clickbait it, because all that's going to do is make everybody look stupid. But just try to, like, for instance, I have like 100 followers on X. I only use it to keep up on things. Like, I don't try to grow it. I should for us, but I don't have time for that. You'll have to do it. But I've like tagged Anna Kasparian in things in regular conversation, like a regular post. Like, Anna Kasparian's really brave for what she's saying, blah blah blah. She's actually come back and hearted it and said things and shit like that on my post.
It can't hurt to continue, tagging and including people that have a bigger voice and a bigger platform. Even if you don't get an answer right away, or whatever, continue to do it anyway.
They're on the crapper looking at X too.
Continue.
So like they might, look at it.
You just never know.
Accidentally tap it and go, oh wow, he says it was an air rifle. Who's this guy? You just
never know. And then the fact of the matter is, they want us to shut up, and they want us to, accept the narrative that has been fed to us, and
look
just
crazy.
Keep our heads down and look nuts. And but we can't do that. And I mean, I know we've probably said things like that before when it was, like MAGA and Trump and this, that, and the other.
Oh, look what it did. This
is beyond that. This is way beyond that.
People did speak on that stuff, though, and it did make a difference.
It did, absolutely. It 100% did, yes. And this is a level above that, I believe.
It is. Because it's apolitical.
We Yeah, we have got to continue talking. That is what Charlie would have wanted, was the truth to be found. And I believe he deserves that, and I believe we as American people deserve that too.
And I want to add something on it being apolitical. A lot of people think that when you're following this, and you might say something like, Grok basically said when I broke all this down that there is a high level of possibility that a country had something to do with this. So people immediately jump to, especially on our side, like, oh, he's against Republicans, or he's against the right because Trump is president and all of his people are in the cabinet, and you're speaking against neocons. However, that country funds both sides.
Exactly.
They have, that's the problem with them. They have people on both sides of Congress, both sides of Senate. They have people who are presidents of other countries, Mexico, things like that. So what I'm trying to say is that it is truly apolitical, because this is a case where the people are being lied to, in my opinion, in the way that they were about JFK.
Yeah.
It took 60 years to get the JFK files out. More than 60 years, I believe, but started coming out after 60 years. I don't want that to happen again.
No, we cannot let that happen.
We have too much technology. Like, people are seeing stuff on video. They're able to analyze audio. It's easier to find people and ask them things. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's so much easier to get proof of things. I feel like cops nowadays, at least in high-profile cases, don't have to do much.
Yeah. I mean, we have been lied to for our entire lives by our country and in many ways. But we can't continue to let that happen forever, especially when it comes to this. We cannot.
Left, right, center.
It does not matter what side you are on. You're being lied to.
Even if you're against, even if you're like, you hate politics, you don't talk about it, you don't vote, things like that. Maybe you dislike Charlie Kirk.
Still affect your life, and you might not even realize it.
The FBI and whoever else is involved, connected to this whole thing, being able to push a lie and solidify a lie and move on from something this horribly public, and it's scary for you, trust me.
It's terrifying.
It's person of interest level stuff.
Yeah.
It's,
just
spook stuff. Yeah, it's spook stuff. So that's all I want to say. I'm glad you brought that up. It is important to stay on it. We'll be talking about other stuff, but it's just like, when a video like this comes out, we're going to cover it, we're going to talk about it. We'll probably chop this down so shorter, because I know some people look at Candace's video and go, oh God, I don't have that much time. So, maybe we can get a few of those people to pay attention. And we've had people that watched our videos say, you know what, yeah, I wasn't really a fan of Candace's, but I'll go back and watch. Mm-hmm. Or I didn't know who Ian was, and they've gone and watched. So if everybody gets one or two people to do that, it is just like voting and stuff. Like, you get one or two people to do it, it's going to make a difference. Yep. That's if you think the votes count.
Yeah, that's a whole other topic. But anyway.
Or if those machines count them right.
That's all I got for now. And just,
I just over your chain smoking.
I don't know, he does that when he's recording.
Yeah, and when it's something that really irks me.
Yeah.
This really does irk me. I try to be lighthearted about it and make some jokes and be sarcastic, but it does irk me because people don't realize what we're just saying, that it really will affect your life if they're allowed to push a lie like this.
Yeah.
This is like, well, not quite COVID level lying.
It's up there though.
And
up there, 'cause there's
proof
a lot of
that was a lie is I can say that now.
Yeah, exactly.
This isn't, well, there's still one that's a little touchy. This isn't jab level lying.
Yeah, but
this is
up there.
More one country. Well, two countries involved, really. That was pretty much every country on the globe.
Yeah.
I don't have the globe. I could point out all the countries that lied to you.
But anyway, but
the one I care about.
Keep listening. Keep talking. Keep paying attention. Keep asking questions.
Keep being America first.
Keep being America first.
Because when you dig into this, you'll find other things.
And, just get right with God. And, we'll see you next time.
Absolutely.